That's right, I'm here in person for today to celebrate the arrival of Mr. Pandaria Remix. Now, as this new event is going live presumably for the next 2 to 3 months before either the release of the next expansion or the pre-patch of the next expansion, we are here as usual with some helpful tools, in this case links related to Mr. Pandaria Remix to make your life easier. Now, being that Mr. Pandaria Remix is entirely about one thing, and that is loot, in particular collectibles. Cosmetics, mounts, pets, toys, and transmog sets, as well as weapons, etc, etc. That's what's gonna be important for the mode. So what we have today for the dear viewers is of course the mega spreadsheet with all of the available rewards for Mr. Pandaria Remix. There are a few pointers here and there, like for example certain rewards are locked behind completing certain quests, certain chain quests, like for example the Isle of Thunder prerequisite chain quest to unlock the Isle of Thunder itself, and a few others. Like for example, for the many interested what is exactly needed to put your hands on the Tasks of Manoroth, which are indeed going to be available in this mode as well. This also allows you to keep track of everything you have to purchase. You can go column by column from all of the Raid Finder appearances, the normal, the heroic appearances, as well as the dungeon ones, the open world appearances down to the mounts and to the toys. You can also see the breakdown of the costs of each bracket. The total cost is a staggering 1.6 million bronze required to buy everything. Now, just to make it clear, the link down in the description is going to be just for the read-only version of the spreadsheet. You have to go into File and clicking this. I'm sure you can do it if you try. You can click on Make a Copy, confirm the copy, and then you will get your own version of the spreadsheet, which you can edit and you can start, checking everything that you have already collected. And then you can also go down in the total that you have collected for all of the LFR appearances, for example. And then it's also gonna reduce the grand total of the rewards you have to buy. Once you are done clearing all of the Raid Finder appearances, you will get your completed congrats, finished version of the LFR, and you can keep going onwards to unlock everything you want in the Mr. Pandaria Remix. Now, there is another version of this, much more streamlined and simple. This is the remixchecklist.com, which does something similar. It shows you every one of the Raid Finder, normal, heroic, world appearances, mounts, toys, etc, etc. Let's say, the special thing, the extra, because this of course is much less open, that doesn't give you as big and as large of an idea of where everything comes from, down to also even things like the rewards that might be unobtainable if they are cosmetics, the armor type of the appearances. This one is much more naked in terms of what it shows. The slight bonus of this link rather than the checklist is that this one also gives you straight up links to Wowhead, to everything you might be interested in. So for example, even if you're here reading about all of these mounts, you're like, yeah, okay, but what is a River Walker Mushan, for example? You can go in here, find the River Walker Mushan, and you will see that you will have an easy link down to Wowhead for you to check exactly what this garbage mount actually looks like. So it's a bit faster to actually get to see exactly the type of rewards you might want from remixchecklist.com rather than from this spreadsheet. If you don't care though, if you just want to have this wide open look at what you want to target, what you want to go for first, then this one is more complete. It's more thorough in what you can aim for in this event. Now, as a reminder, as mentioned, this is going to be over 1.6 million bronze that you have to spend in this mode to collect literally everything. Now, it's worth reminding a couple of things in case you weren't already aware about. This is all available and obtainable on a single character. You see the different colors here. This blue means it's for cloth and this yellow means it's for leather, but even if you're playing a plate character, you can still collect all of these, no problem. It just means your plate character in one remix won't be able to actually use those appearances, but any other one of your cloth characters will be able to use these appearances, even if you buy them on a different type of armor class that you're playing in the mode. The other one, more relevant, is of course that you have to make the decision. You have to split your your costs between saving the bronze to buy the cosmetics and the appearances, etc., versus using the bronze to actually upgrade your items, because those are one and the same in terms of currency. Now, the most logical suggestion is that since very early on in the game, even within the first 30 minutes of Mists of Pandaria Remix, you will be able to start getting these very large upgrade track items very early on. They are very large because that is the same, the one and only upgrade track you will have for all of the other items, which will be able to get all the way up to 36 or up to 34. You can still upgrade even your early on level 15 items by this much, by end game level of quality. But of course, this will cost you several dozens of thousands of bronze, which you could have used to buy yourself, an entire cloth set of mythic Mist of Pandaria looks, for example, that you now just spent on a single item to upgrade the item level. So the more logical thing is to just wait and chill with your gear, get an item here very quickly on. You will be able to just loot more items at higher upgrade track levels. You won't really need to start thinking about upgrading your items with bronze until you are into, this range of items, and even then it might not even be required if you're going for your min-max, save as much bronze as you can to be able to spend it as much as possible into the rewards without having to spend it into upgrading your items. Now, if you are an even more old school boomer and you want a much simpler way to just browse the rewards, then Wowhead has a pretty comprehensive list of all of the possible rewards, starting from the pets and the toys and then going down into the mounts, as well as some of the required achievements, the required things you have to complete in order to unlock certain rewards, like, for example, completing certain factions at certain levels are required, completing scenarios, and even the heroic version of the scenarios can be required. And then you have the whole list of rewards. You have the list of the new updated mounts collectible from Mist of Pandaria. Then you have the list of the returning rare mounts from Mist of Pandaria that you can collect. You have then all of the toys, and you can keep scrolling down. The newly added heirlooms available now from old Siege of Orgrimmar are also making a return, and then of course all of the different ensembles showing you the different looks, every spec and class. You can go down the list on this link on Wowhead as well. This is a much more bootleg, old school version. Just go to a site and scroll through endlessly through all the rewards, right? Then you have the more comprehensive list through this Excel spreadsheet for you to also keep track of all of the things you are collecting. And then lastly, this one, which is not nearly as comprehensive, even if you can keep track of the things you're buying, but it does have links to every one of the rewards on Wowhead. This was the QOL, some helpful tools and helpful links for the upcoming, or I should say the already released Mist of Pandaria Remix. Hoping that to at least some of you, any one of these 1, 2, 3 different links will become useful in Mist of Pandaria. Now, maybe not now, maybe not right at the release of the mode where you're still leveling. You shouldn't really start to keep track, at level 10, as soon as you get your first 1200 bronze, immediately go to Lara to buy yourself some world transmog, right? Maybe not yet. Maybe it will be useful, in a few days, in a couple of weeks, when you really start hoarding a whole lot of bronze and you start thinking about where to dump all that bronze. So with this PSA for this game mode coming out right today, it's now time to leave each other, because myself too also have to go and play the mode. So thanks of course as usual to all of the Patreon supporters for the contribution and the help to the growth of the channel, which can as usual still be given completely for free, which is something you can do by liking and commenting down below, as well as subscribing to the channel itself. Now, with these pointless things out of the way, thank you guys again for watching. See you guys tomorrow, and in the meantime, well, there's nothing to do in the meantime other than playing Mist of Pandaria Remix, hoping it doesn't get boring within a week.